Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the 2019 Subaru Outback Premium. As always, we're going to do a quick walk around the Outback, then we're going to take it out to see how it drives. A big shout out and thank you to Mark Miller Subaru here in Midtown, Utah for providing us with the vehicle. If you are in the market for a new Subaru, definitely check these guys out. And if you are stopping for the first time, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe. Under the hood here of the 2019 Outback, we actually have two different engine options. This one has the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder flat type engine. You can get a 3.6 liter 6-cylinder flat type engine. In terms of power outputs, the 4-cylinder is going to be good for 175 horsepower and 174 pound-feet of torque, and then the 6-cylinder will be good for 256 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. Both go through a CVT transmission symmetrically to all four wheels. And if you are wondering on fuel economy, with that CVT transmission in this 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, it's going to be good for 25 miles per gallon around town and then 32 on the highway, which is really solid for an SUV. Oh, the color on this is crystal white pearl, and it is a beautiful kind of like pearlescent white. Looks fantastic in the sunlight. But we can come down below to the lights. You can see that we've got some accent lights just around the projector bulbs. The turn signal is just integrated right there in the whole headlight cluster. Fog lights are down below, and you notice that the bumper here, they don't do all body painted, and that's because this is supposed to be taken off road, so they kind of make this whole bumper area a little bit more durable, and it's not going to show like scratches and rock chips as much since it is the Outback and you're supposed to take it off road. Now around the side here we have two 25mm tires, 17-inch alloy aluminum wheels. Look absolutely fantastic on this in the front and the rear, and then you can see that all along the side, like I said, just like the bumper, they kind of do that darker accenting on it. It's a little bit more durable, and again, it's because you're supposed to take this on the off-road. And then you'll note it does say Outback there on the side. Here is the key fob for the Outback. So you notice there's a couple functions: lock and unlock, and then your trunk release. So just press that button, and it actually has a power lift tailgate on this premium package, and we can pop into the back here right now. The seats are actually folded down, so you can see just how much storage space you do have in the Outback. It is absolutely massive. There is a little cargo cover. You actually can pull these little handles, and those will throw the seats down. The cargo cover will go in that whole area, but cargo space is plentiful. And then this does come with two sets of floor mats. You get rubber floor mats and then cloth floor mats. Not a lot of manufacturers actually offer that as an option with their vehicles. Usually you have to buy the rubber floor mats after the fact. Now if you're gonna lower down the tailgate, just press that button and that will slow lower down the rear hatch. And then you can see again that whole black design with the bumper continues all around the Outback. You got your Outback badging, you've got the signature Subaru taillight back here with your Subaru logo, and then you've got the symmetrical all-wheel drive badging on the other side with the Subaru logo there on top of that. Now let's open up the door panel here in the rear, and you can see that. So they kind of have done this like white exterior and then tan interior. It's actually super popular on the Subarus. But you can see you've got some cloth padding right here. You've got the silver trim just above, and then you've got the leather with the matching stitching. And then we can actually look at the seats, but I've got to fold them up first. The seat is fully folded up. You can see that it's full cloth, very, very soft and comfortable to sit in. And then you actually do get some cup holders that you can pull out right here with the Outback. Couple charging stations in that area with some extra storage, and then you can see legroom is plentiful. That's one of the bigger reasons to go for the Outback, is not just the off-road capability, but then also the extra space in the rear for your rear passengers. Let's open up the door panel here in the front, and you can see you've got more of that tan cloth with the leather just down below. All of your window controls and mirror controls, all those adjustments will be right there. And then you do get that silver trim just above it. And then if we actually look at these seats over here on the side, fully power adjustable, and then we've got the cloth right here, so the tan cloth, very soft to the touch. Bolsters are wider on this, but they do provide a ton of support. And then we can see that we've got the pedal layout just down below here on the Outback. And then a bunch of controls for the safety stuff. So stability control, your blind spot monitoring, your lane departure assistance, and then you've got your forward collision warning just there. And then above here you can see you've got a memory function on the tailgate, and then you do have your tailgate. So the tailgate is very, very configurable with how you want to open it and then how far you want it to open as well. And the steering wheel is manually adjustable. Now in the Outback Premium, you just have to put the key fob in, twist it there, and then the gauges will do a sweep, and the 2.5 liter will come to life. Right here we can see we've got all of our controls for the adaptive cruise control functions. And then on the other side, we've got all of our controls for the Bluetooth radio. Everything voice commands can be controlled via that side. And then we've got these little panels here that actually controls the little center stack. So you can see that there's a couple different menus that you can scroll through with this little center screen. with just those buttons. And then on the left-hand side, you can see the RPMs. On the right-hand side, you can see the speed with the fuel gauge there as well, but pretty standard setup for the car industry nowadays. And here's your whole touchscreen interface. So you can see that there's a couple buttons on the side for analog controls like your tuner, and then you can see that you can have your volume control, but the touchscreen is very responsive, really easy to use, tons of open space, so you can put different apps there if you would like, and you can see there you can add a bunch of shortcuts to a bunch of things. But while we're on the touchscreen, let's actually pop it in reverse. See a backup camera will pop up with little trajectory lines right there. It does come with the parking sensors too, just to help out with parking on the Outback. But like I said, in general, really solid infotainment system. Now we have our dual zone climate right here with our heated seat controls on both sides. So it's nice that they actually give you dual zone climate, and this is really easy to use. It's just these little dials right there, and then you can press this and this will fold open. So you can see there's a bunch of little charging stations in that area, and then we have a bunch of little storage areas. So we've got a little storage area there, a couple cup holders right here, and then this is for your parking brake. Your X mode is kind of like your off-road mode, so it gives you actually like stuff like hill descent control, and then that's just like a hold button, so if you're on a hill so you won't like fall backwards. Here is that shifter for the CVT automatic. It does have a manual shift mode. That is actually activated via these little paddles right here. So you actually press those little paddles, and that's what will let you shift between the gears if you want to shift them yourself. We've got this little center console right here that's leather padded, and then you can see you've got a little storage tray on the top, and then you've got a ton of storage inside, again lined with felt, and then you have a little 12-volt outlet right there. So decent little center console, and then we actually pop over the glove box, so we can see there's soft touch with some stitching above, and then more of that cool silver trim. Opening up the glove box, Subaru actually has really big glove boxes. I've kind of been noticing that. Owner's manual is right there, but lined with felt, and yeah, just really big in general, which is a huge plus. So up here we've got a little sunglass holder, and then you can see here we've got the sunroof, so it's just a manual shade to pull us back, but then you have your buttons for the sunroof just to let a little bit of extra light in the cabin. And then this whole headliner matches the whole interior, so you kind of have like that cream color on the interior, and it goes up to the headliner, so it all matches. Not a lot of car manufacturers do that. Wrapping things up on the Outback, let's talk about pricing for a quick second. This one, before any sort of market adjustment, stickers for just over $32,000, which with all the safety tech that this comes with, the off-road capability, I feel like is a solid value for the vehicle. But that all being said, let's take out the 2019 Outback to see how it drives. So you can see we are starting off here in the Subaru Outback, and so far drives exceptionally smooth, really easy to drive in general, and you can see that the steering very direct. Let's first talk about ride quality and road noise. There's not a whole lot of road noise that comes through to the Outback in general, and like I said, ride quality is exceptionally smooth. This is a very comfortable car to drive. You could drive it on a daily basis, no problem. So now that we are stopped here for a minute, let's talk about visibility. So you can see visibility over the hood's really easy. It's a low slung hood in general, and then you can see visibility through both of the mirrors is solid as well. Then you can see visibility over the shoulder is really good, so it's easy to see out of the Outback in general from a visibility standpoint. Now let's talk about the steering on the Outback for a moment. You can see that the steering is very light, but it's very direct. I mean, the Outback just goes right where you want it to go. There's not a whole lot of play, which it is expected for an SUV to have a little bit of play, so it's very nice that the Outback doesn't have a lot of play with the steering, and then it just goes right where you want it to. Now let's get a little acceleration here with the Outback to see how that 2.5 liter performs. So you can see acceleration wise it's more than adequate, and that CVT transmission goes through the gears really quickly actually, so really solid transmission engine setup in general, and you're not really going to feel like you need a whole lot more power, and it's going to be great for the off-road, which is what the Outback is meant to be. To sum things up, if you're in the market for an SUV that gets really good fuel economy, has a ton of safety tech, and then is at a really reasonable price point for the features that you're getting, then the Subaru Outback is definitely one of the options you have to check out. I am a huge fan of the Subaru brand in general, but after driving this new Outback, I definitely think it's a super solid offering in the SUV segment. So if you're on the market for that, definitely check out one of these Outbacks. And there we have it, everyone, the 2019 Subaru Outback. And again, thank you everyone so much for watching. If you are stopping for the first time, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe, comment down below what you thought, and then again, a big shout out and thank you to Mark Miller Subaru here in Midtown, Utah for providing us with this Outback to review. If you're on the market for new Subaru, check these guys out.